Okay, I'm gonna be summarizing Beowulf because teacher can't teach. So, there's this king, right? His name is Hrothgar. And he becomes queen, he becomes king, wins a bunch of battles, and, like, he makes this giant mead hall called Harrod. And it's like Coachella, the party place. Literally everyone's like, oh my god, I went to a Harrod party, whatever. So they're all partying, having a good time. This monster named Grendel, who, like, basically lives in the basement, is sick and tired of hearing his upstairs neighbors partying all freaking night long. He's like, I live in this dingy ass studio apartment, get me out. So he starts going into the hall and eating people. He eats them, and then he goes back home, and he does that every night. And Hrothgar is starting to get like, ooh, mass murder, it kind of kills the party vibe, right? And I don't want to do that. So he's like, oh, what do we do? Beowulf hears about it. Beowulf's big, what is happening to his feet? He's like big, tough guy. He's like, give me a go at this guy. I want fame. I literally, let me at him. So he gets in his boat, and he, like, sails all the way to Harrod, and he whips up, and he's like, yo, king, let me get a go at Grendel. And Hrothgar's like, damn, low-key, go ahead. And they decided, you know what, let's party before we go at it. So they're partying, and Beowulf's like, you know what, Harrod, this guy, he's not a warrior. He doesn't use weapons, so I'm not gonna use weapons. And everyone's like, yeah! So Beowulf decides he's not gonna use weapons, but there's this NPC who's like a hater, and he's like, this doesn't seem like a good idea. Yo, Beowulf, literally, how are you gonna defeat Grendel when you just lost a week-long swimming competition? And Beowulf's like, oh, you're right. I did lose that competition because I was busy fighting 3 sea monsters. Oh, and then everyone's like, yo, Beowulf, woo! And they're like, you know, whatever. So Beowulf did not lose a hand. That's the other guy. Beowulf he's excited. Everyone's hyping up Beowulf. Everybody goes to sleep, and Beowulf's just sitting there. He's sitting there waiting for Grendel. Grendel comes up, and he's like, they start fighting, and he, like, goes to throw a punch, and Beowulf catches it, and he's, you know, I forgot what sound it is, but like, the only thing that can calm you down. And they kind of, like, have a moment, and then Beowulf's like, oh shit, starts trying to fly away, can't fly away. He rips his arm off. So Beowulf has Grendel's arm, and Grendel flies away to his mommy, literally. And Beowulf's like, yeah! And then everybody comes out, and they're like, yeah! We killed Grendel, woo! So they take Grendel's arm, and they, like, have it as a trophy in the mead hall, and they're all partying. They're, like, partying up a storm, having a great time. Grendel's dead, or at least gone. They're, like, so excited. Meanwhile, at home, Grendel comes up, and he's, like, missing an arm. He's like, and Grendel's mom is like, there, let mommy take care of it. So she swoops in to the party, starts just killing people, steals her son's arm back, and she goes back to the swamp she lives in. So everyone's like, OMG, what are we gonna do? Like, we messed up. And Beowulf's like, y'all, literally, don't worry, I got this. So Beowulf goes to the swamp where they live in, and he's in this big swamp. He has to swim to the bottom of the swamp. He literally swims for a full day, because he has like giant lungs apparently. Literally swims for a full day. He gets to the he gets to the bottom of the swamp, and Grendel's mom immediately attacks him. So they start fighting. They're fighting. Grendel's over here still missing an arm. He's very upset. So they're fighting, and Beowulf finds a sword in her cave, and because, you know, none of his weapons are working, so he kills Grendel's mom, looks back, Grendel's dead, because, I mean, he lost his arm, he's a goner, he bled out. So Grendel's mom is dead, Grendel's dead. The sword, like, killed her and then just dissolved. So it was kind of like a one-time use thing, but Grendel and Grendel's mommy are dead. So Beowulf goes back to the party, and he's like, y'all, I did it. Oh, losing his hand. They all celebrate. The king gives him a bunch of riches, and then he gets back in his boat, and he goes back home. He becomes king, and he's a good king, and he's just chilling. And when he's an old guy, when he's old, okay, yeah, he's old, there's this dragon, had some of its loot stolen. Dragon is freaking out, just burning everything in sight, trying to get revenge. So Beowulf's like, one last fight. So he takes 12 of his best men, and they go to the dragon. And he's like, alright guys, let's fight. And 11 of them run away. But the little guy, Wiglaf, he's like, don't worry, king, I got you, king. And Beowulf's like, you know what, hell yeah. So Beowulf fights the dragon, he kills the dragon, but while he's fighting the dragon, he gets bitten. A little dragon bite, it's nothing for Beowulf. However, okay, we'll just leave that. Little dragon bite, that's nothing. Dragon venom, however, Beowulf's dying. And Wiglaf is like, please don't. Wiglaf is like, king, my king. And Beowulf is like, Wiglaf, do one thing for me before I die. And Wiglaf's like, anything, my king. And he's like, go get some of the dragon's treasures and show me how much riches I just won. So Wiglaf was like, okay, bet. He goes over, he grabs like the shiniest thing he can find, and he's like, here you go, king. And Beowulf's like, oh yeah, and then he dies. But before he dies, Wiglaf, he's like, you were loyal to me. You stayed by my side. You're king now. And then he dies. And Beowulf is dead. Wiglaf finds the other 11 guys, and he's like, you abandoned your king. I'm banishing you, and you have to go build Beowulf's grave. So he banishes them. Do you need my key? No. Okay.
Here,
Does it move?
no, that hook doesn't. The opposite side does. I don't have my phone on me to show you what it's doing, or I'll do it so you can see.
And now Wiglaf's king, and that's Beowulf. It is over 3,000 lines long for just that. It's a lot of exposition, but yay.